Hello and welcome in. Mark here, aka the Markster. This is video number 38 in the FreeCAD series. In the last video, we made this mobius strip, and I wanted to revisit that in this episode and make a script that would help us create this object or one similar to it. So today I'll be using version 0.19 revision 19758 on Windows 10. This is one of the pre-release development versions. So let's close this and create a new document. And my idea here is to use a circle or an ellipse as the path. And let's use an ellipse. And I'll make the major radius 150 millimeters and the minor radius 100. So that'll be more of an elliptical path for the mobius strip instead of a purely circular path, which we were limited to with that other method using a polygon and rotating each sketch individually. I'm going to go to the sketcher and create a sketch for the original profile. And I'll put that on the YZ plane. And we'll center this sketch. Same dimensions as before. Get that centered. And the horizontal is going to be 40. And the vertical is going to be 5 again. Now I want to map this sketch to the ellipse. We're going to choose normal to edge. That's the mapping mode I want for this one. So now we need a macro script to do our twist and copy this sketch. So we go to macro menu, macros, create a macro, and let's call it twister. So twister is going to twist the sketch as it makes copies. And I'm going to use draft copy, draft.makeCopy. So I'll need draft, I'll need math. If I think of anything else, I'll come back up and import that. So we're going to have the end angle will be 180 degrees, and the step size will be 10 degrees each. And we'll have a loop that's going to go through. First, let's get a reference to the sketch. We'll call it sketch equals app.activeDocument.sketch. And that's going to reference this sketch object. Save what I've got so far. And I'm going to use the map path parameter. So this will move us around the ellipse. Let me show you how that works. So if we set this to 0.2, notice how the sketch moved. So this is a value from 0 to 1. And at 1, you're all the way around. So that's how we're going to make our copies. We're going to move this in a loop all the way around, making a copy each step of the way and rotating it along the way in the macro. So I want to set this map path parameter to 0 to start. And I want to change my the rotation by using this attachment offset, not the placement. The attachment offset property is a placement property that gives you the attachment offset of your object. So we want to change this angle property to do the twist, and by default we are rotating about the z-axis, so I just leave that as it is. Now the z-axis for the attachment offset is not the z-axis in the global coordinate system. This is the z-axis of that local coordinate system of the sketch itself. So it's always going to be directly above the sketch as you're looking down at the sketch, no matter the sketch's position in the global coordinate system. Alright, so now we need to make a little loop. I like to use II as my indexing number instead of I. It's just something that I've been doing for a long time. So for I in range 0 to end angle, step size, this will be our loop. And the first thing we're going to do is set that map path parameter and that's going to be II over, it needs to be a float, or a step size. So if the step size is 180, I'm sorry, the step size is 10, II will go from 0 to 10 to 20 each step through by step size. So I think what actually I need here is end angle instead of step size. If that doesn't work, we'll figure out what happened. And the angle there we are, will be equals II, right? II will be the angle. But this is in radians, so we need to convert that to degrees. By saying pi over 180. Let's see if that works. And we'll make a copy. Draft.makeCopy sketch. So this creates a copy of this sketch at that location and rotation. And this is just going to recompute between each step. So we'll be at we won't ever reach the end angle. The way these for loops work here, we'll get to 170 and that'll be the last one. Which is probably going to be okay because we can link to that first sketch. Let's just run this. Let me save it. Let's run it and see what kind of errors we get. No doubt we'll get a few. Well, rarely does that happen. You don't get any kind of error. Now let's see if we can loft this and get let's see. So sketch 1 is the first copy that was made, and it's at 0 map path parameter, and the offset is at 0 degrees. Yeah, and the next one is at 10 and 20 and 30 and 160 and 170. So we never got one all the way back around to 180, did we? No, I don't think so. Right, so we'll have a little gap. This is the original. Let me hide it. And this is the first copy. Let's just see what we have here. I think we'll be a little bit short. We won't use sketch, that's the original. And it's going to give us that same problem that we had before with the self-intersections. Yeah, we need to probably make one more copy, or do it in sections like we did last time. Do it like in three different lofts and then fuse them together. I'm going to delete this loft. Start with number 1 and we'll do, so we've got 18. Altogether we'll do 6 at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll end with sketch 6. And then start with sketch 6 on the next one. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we ended on 11. And now do another one. Start it on 11. Oops. I don't want to go backwards. Should have used 7 instead of 6 at a time. And let's see, where did I end that time? Ended on 16, so let's do another one here. 16, 17, 18, and back around to 1. And now we'll need to hide all those sketches not to see those profiles. Let's fuse these. I don't know why it didn't hide them automatically. Alright. So there's our elliptical mobius strip made in smaller sections, smaller lofts. And let's run a check geometry on this fusion object. Yeah, so we're good. The shape content has 16 faces. So if we start here, that's 2, 3, 4. You see how we're changing sides as we go around. 5, there we are. 6, 7, and 8. So this is 8 faces because of the way we had to make it. They're not going to be a single face. And I don't think refining is going to remove these extras. So that's 8 faces. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we'll have no hidden faces. Faces. Notice these faces also swap sides, not just the ones, the large face, which makes sense because it's a rectangle. Now let's see if we can delete all this stuff. I'm surprised it let me delete it all like that. And let's try a different parameter set. So instead of a step size of 10, let's make it a step size of 1 just to see how many sketch copies we end up with. Now, how would you like to have to rotate each of these individually like we did in the last video? That would be some work. I don't know if this will produce a better quality, probably a better quality object, more consistent, because you have less of an angle between each. So this one is 13 degrees, this one is 14. Those two there. But we're not limited to making a mobius strip, because this twister macro is more versatile than that. We could have, instead of an ellipse here, we could just have a straight line, and we don't have to stop at 180 degrees. We can go 720 degrees. So let's try that. Let me delete these extra sketches first. And I don't think I saved that file either. That's not good. Hang on a second. Okay, I brought FreeCAD back up. It crashed. And it's given me the option to recover this document. So let's see. We'll clean up afterwards. And cancel. Okay, so the good news is the macro is saved, because we had saved that. So that's not lost. That's the big part that you would not want to lose, because that's, I mean, it wasn't that difficult to write. And I even was able to get it right the first time, which is weird. Alright, now let's try deleting those. I don't know why it crashed. I'm gonna hide this ellipse. Let's create a new sketch. Let's set this one to 0. So the sketch gets changed by that loop. And so we end up with sketch having different, let's call this 38. Let me put it in my, where I'm saving my YouTube files, 038. I'm trying to save one for each video that I make. And this will be the twister. Now I want to make another sketch, this time just a straight edge. And let's see if my theory holds true. And this will be on the XZ plane. And it's just going to be a straight line. And let's make this height, say 250. Now we need to map the sketch to this edge instead of the ellipse. And this view from the front here, yeah, that's where we want it. Normal to edge. Alright, and now let's go 720 degrees. The step size will be smaller, so we don't have so many. 10 should work. So hopefully we'll get something that looks kind of like DNA, except not. Let's see what this is going to do. Let's save this macro and run it. Yeah, it kind of looks like DNA. And let's try to loft that. That's a lot of sketches, but it shouldn't be too hard just double clicking on them. Begin with sketch 2. Sketch 1 is our path. Sketch is just what we needed to use to make copies. So sketch 2 is actually the beginning. And I can just keep double clicking real fast here. Click, click, click. 72 of these, right? And create a solid. And let's hide these sketches. Press the Shift and N key, hit space bar, and hide them all in one go. Well, that looks pretty cool. What do they call those streamers that kind of look like ribbons? Hang on a second. Well, I don't know. I guess you could perhaps make threads like that. There's something they use at parties. Kind of looks like that, sort of. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Let's check this geometry. Looks good. We've got 6 faces. We've got one here. It's not twisting back on itself like the mobius strip does. We got 2 here, and this will be 3. This will be 4, and of course you got the ends, 5 and 6. So we've got a kind of a general purpose macro for when you need to make copies of a sketch along a path and you want to rotate it slightly between each copy. Well, that's going to be it for today. I guess you can make possibly a staircase out of that. That's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching and have a great day.